What is going on, everybody? It is 8 p.m. Sunday, and we have had probably one of the best AMSs in a while. It took a while to get used to the format, but once you kind of learn the lingo, the Super Bowl, all the racing your way in, and all the shenanigans that they had coming into this event was pretty cool. Now, you guys all know that I'm a huge DP fan. If you don't know who DP is, it is Dakota Fenn. Dakota, man, he had a wicked weekend. Not sure what happened to him in that last race 41 for E-Buggy, but he basically had that in the bag, and something came apart. Yeah, oh man, Matt, the whole thing was pretty cool. Once they got through yesterday, you could kind of see the story unfold. Tires were huge. If you've seen all the interviews afterwards and all that with Dakota, his back tires look like they were super bald. Very curious to see what they were running, what type of sauces they were. Rumor has it that Dakota was running a secret test buggy, kind of like a smash up between the buggy and the truggy. So definitely going to be interesting seeing what comes out of this event. The last big indoor 8-scale event of the year, especially for race time. So I'm very curious to see how the silly season actually comes to fruition now. Because as you guys know, the big, huge announcement is probably Ronefeld. David Ronefeld leaving HB. Now, if anybody has any idea on what is going on with David Ronefeld, man, I am curious to see where he's going to end up. Kevin says it was J Concept Silver, rehabs for buggy, and ellipse for truck. I would have to agree. J Concepts were definitely on point throughout the entire race. The whole event looked like it was controlled by J Concepts. Now, I heard that they were saucing. I'm not sure if they were doing tire warmers or anything like that, but definitely pretty cool. Yes, I did notice that. They called it the 4.0. So that was kind of funny. Unless he is running a 4.0, that would be even funnier, but I doubt that very much. I do believe that he was running some experimental parts. It might be the new prototype buggy. Nobody knows for sure. So I would love to be, a fly on the wall there, or basically going around and doing all the pit reporting. And speaking of pit reporting and doing a fantastic job, if you guys haven't seen it yet, John Kennedy from Net Cruiser RC, he has been killing it with the vlogs. Those things have been phenomenal. And I actually found that his format and layout and the way that he's communicating to everybody was over the top cool. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to put the link in the Ross Racing Facebook page. It's the Net Cruiser. John Kennedy, if you have to look him up, definitely check him out. But his YouTube channel, Net Cruiser RC, is awesome, especially for Canadian content. I believe that he released the first one of a couple for the Clay Masters, which is pretty cool. Oh, I hope not. Hopefully everybody can hear me loud and clear. Mic check. It looks like my levels are A-okay, so hopefully that remains true. All right, good. All good. Perfect. Oh, you know what? So now that we got Rob Say jumping in, got some bittersweet news for the on-road group. I have my car right over here. Let me see. Got this bad boy, all built, ready to rock in touring car. Obviously, I'm going to be running the stock touring car, but this coming weekend, we have the Goodfellows race at Cedar Creek Raceway, and it will be the debut of my new Mugen MTC2 car with all Tekin electronics. The only thing I don't have Tekin is the motor, and that was going to be rectified right after the first race. But unfortunately, it might be the last race. Yeah, you know it's funny. I got the beard happening too. So what I was saying about the Cedar Creek race is it's going to be epic. I want everybody that can possibly go out there and show their support, make it out. It's going to be an epic race. We do have to beat the totals that we had last year, which I don't see being a major issue. And with that being said, Rob, it was a pleasure having you run the track for as long as you have. Basically, I know how much effort it took for you and your brother Jeff to put on these events, race after race, and basically promoting it, trying to push the indoor RC on-road racing scene as best as you guys can. And as far as I'm concerned, you guys did a fantastic job. 17 years in the same facility is something you haven't heard of. Basically, without you guys, there would be no indoor on-road racing in the area. And I do have a few rumors. I don't want to speak on the rumors yet, but stay tuned because I don't think indoor on-road racing locally is over yet. And I'm very grateful that there are people willing to step up and take the reins over from Rob and Jeff. And I just wish them the best in all their future endeavors. Maybe he'll come to the off-road scene and get dirty with us next year. We'll have to bug him about that. But definitely looking forward to seeing what the next chapter brings for Cedar Creek Raceway. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, unfortunately, we have to be out of that facility by January 1st. So as some of you may or may not know, Rob did post up that this is going to be the final race due to the massive amounts of teardown and items that you have to clean out of the building in order to basically have it ready for the new tenants, which is a sad day for sure. Yeah, you know what, John, you guys, we definitely get along well. He is definitely a top driver in Ontario, past Canadian on-road national champ, basically has tons of accolades. I think even back in the day, he was battling with Rick Endler, all the top guys, Tommy Giovanni. I remember watching him at Action Hobbies running Nitro before it was cool. I think he was into the whole 8-scale thing as well. I know he had a short course. Like, the guy is definitely all over the map when it comes to running RC cars. But the one thing I know he's truly passionate about was always the on-road thing, and he definitely made sure that it was fun for all of us whenever we went out to his facility. The next thing that I wanted to bring up before we get into the AMS recap is the website. The website has been running now for a week, and basically, I just want to thank everybody for jumping in and ordering up the first batch of bodies. Now, I noticed that the site will allow it to go into a back order state, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to be putting in my next LFR body order on Monday. So with that being said, there is still the giveaway. And basically what the giveaway is, I mentioned it a little bit on the web page or Facebook page, and what I wanted to do is basically tell you that the LFR body giveaway is open till midnight tonight. You can still use the coupon code, which is NewSite10, until midnight tonight, which saves you money off of any of the LFR bodies. And the super cool thing about that is anybody that orders an LFR body, I'll compile a list. And what we're going to do is we are going to draw for your body being custom painted by Bodies by Brandon. So that is the prize that I'm going to throw out there for everybody that ordered. I do appreciate all the support. It has been overwhelming. The traffic has been amazing. I just want to thank all of you guys for checking it out. And if you're not familiar with the website, it is www.sworkswithaz.canada.ca. And like I said, we have the new stuff launching, and I am just going to share it with you guys so you guys can check it out. Let me bring it on up. All right, so basically what we have here is we have the website set up so you guys know this is all clickable links. You can go into the shop here. And what's new in the shop is I tried to make it as easy as I possibly can. It's a little bit slower for me, so I have all the lead finger racing bodies set up into the categories here. So you got your bruggy, wings, truggy, and buggy. Next up, you got the Cow RC. This is brand spanking new and launched today. So as you guys know, what are you looking for? Yeah. As you guys know, I do have my favorite products. So obviously one of them, when rebuilding diffs or going through anything metal on metal, give it a little utter butter love. Next thing is obviously my Moo Clean, which you will see on the site. The Moo Clean has been a huge saver when it comes to electronics cleaning and getting all the molding releasing agents off the tires when you're doing that as well. Next up is the Moo Slick. You will see the Moo Slick on there. And last but not least, the chassis wash. I also have the refill for the chassis wash, and the new thing on there, which I'm excited to get my hands on, is the new hide wipes. So definitely cruise on over to the site and check that out. It's going to be super cool. I'm excited to bring you all the Cow RC goodness in a package deal. And you know what? It wouldn't be complete unless we gave you a coupon code, right? So to launch the new stuff, hopefully you guys can see that, we're going to give you 15% off. Actually, you probably can't see the coupon code, so I'm going to type it in. So the coupon code is in there, right there, 1976. So if you want to save yourself some moolah on the Cow RC launch, that is going to be good until Monday. So basically next Sunday night. So it's going to be a 1 week long coupon that it's good for everybody. So please let me know if we have any issues whatsoever with the website. So far, your guys' feedback has been fantastic. Hopefully everybody has had smooth transactions with the shipping and with all of the new stuff to me coming on board. I do have the post deal. So Canada Post has it set up so you can do it based on size, weight, and I'm hoping that the shipping costs are as low as they possibly can. Now, remember, you don't have to pay any of the brokerage fee or import fees buying it from the website, which is huge because in Canada, we all know what that's like. Sometimes when you get your A-main order, sometimes when you order direct, you get hit with those weird fees, man. And there's no rhyme or reason to it, really. I heard, if you keep it under $100, you're not going to get one, or if you do this and that, or if you put toy car, you can get lucky here and there. But this way, you don't have to worry about that nonsense. It's already dealt with and put in the price for you guys. Now, the one thing that I don't have just quite yet is a GST number, but based off the initial sales, I might have to apply for it if I reach a certain amount in 1 year. So I will hopefully not reach that amount because that just basically gives savings on to you guys as well, as long as I don't reach that threshold and can stay under it. But I definitely have to give you guys a huge thank you for supporting the site. And once again here, I know that I gave you the code, but I will give you the link so you guys have it. Oh, thanks, man. And it's been a lot of fun interacting with everybody on the site. Troubleshooting real time because it is new to me as well. So keep that in mind. I am rolling with all the learning curves and punches. But I do want to remind you guys that the giveaway, though, is huge. Like to get a custom painted body, your colors, your scheme, your whatever, coming out new in 2022, it's going to be epic. And who doesn't want to have a cool custom painted body? I know there's a few of you guys watching right now that are probably thinking, yeah, you know what? I need a little something cooler for the 2022 season. So, who's been watching AMS anyways? I know that I've basically been watching it all weekend, and the worst part is the weather was horrible. Kind of crazy rain, sleet, snow, crappiness. So it just made it that much easier to hang out in the garage and actually watch this thing. The one thing that I do definitely miss is the banter in the pits. I miss you guys. I miss going and bugging you guys, hanging out, seeing what's going on, actually seeing what's going on in the pits. If somebody's doing something different to the tires, if somebody has something that's pulling away from everybody else. Typically, I'm going over and bugging Douglas Schufeld or Andrew Bakar or somebody like fast like the Reimer brothers, just going over there and seeing. Steve DeBans, I got to bug him last time out, and these guys put their heart and soul into their 8-scale program. And when you go into their pits and you see everything all apart and they're going through all the stuff and making those changes, those last-minute changes, just to ensure that they have that one step ahead of you in the final. It makes it all the much better, for sure. And that's the type of stuff I miss. I can't wait to bring you guys some of the new stuff back in the new year. Now, I do have one other thing I want to talk about before we get into the review, the AMS 12.0 review. I am trying to follow my list here, so I'm trying not to get off track. So the next thing that I have to bring up, and this is my fault, it is the giveaway for the EarTech devices. Arnaldo was nice enough to donate it back, and basically this right here is going to a great cause. So you have a second opportunity to win the communication devices, and basically second shots. All proceeds are going to be donated to the Alzheimer's Society, which is what he picked, and I think it's for a fantastic cause. Now, the one thing that I forgot to do was pin it to the top. So even though I was posting like every day, and I do try and post at least once per day, it got shuffled down and it was harder for people to see it. So now it is pinned to the top again. So if you do want to get in on that, please, by all means, make sure you head over to the Ross Racing Facebook page and you can get your stuff in there on that. And it's basically a second chance to win a prize for that. Now, let's bring this up real quick. So we got the Alabama Manufacturers Shootout. So I'm going to bring this up on screen. And this was the Pro Electric Buggy A main top 5. So I want to start off with the E-Buggy because the E-Buggy, in my opinion, was basically the filler class. I believe that they used the E-Buggy to try different stuff to make their Nitro program that much better. And I'm blown away at some of the speed and consistency that these guys had. Like 98% consistent is insane. Dakota, 97. Rifkin with the 96. Ty, 96. And then you got Tebow with the 97.6. So the top 5 all running above 96% is insane. Now, if you look at their fast laps, 26.6, 26.4, 26.6, 26.8, 20. So all the top 5 also in the 26-second mark. Just insane. So that was A1. A2, Ryan Mayfield took it again, and he was 80 or 98.1%. Ty was 98.1%. Dakota 96.91, dropped a little bit there. But if you look at their fast laps are just ridiculous. They're top 15, 27, only a few tenths off their fast lap. To me, you know they're flying. Oh, yeah. And if you don't know what Matt's talking about there, basically they were beating and banging in the Super Bowl to see who was going to take that win. But in A2, since Ryan got both wins, he didn't even have to race in the A3 to secure his win. So it left it open for a few other people. And I don't know if you guys seen the top 5 here is Ty Tessman, Spencer Rifkin, Brandon Rose, Ryan Cavalieri, and Tyler Jones, the dark horse, man. It is insane. So the dark horse basically came up and surprised a lot of people. Yeah, I'm hoping everybody is getting the speaker and all that perfectly fine. I'm hoping it's not cutting out on anybody. That I would hate because I don't know with this program. But I'm going to keep plugging away. We're going to go to the truck results here. So Pro Truggy A main was definitely a great battle between Dakota and Ryan Mayfield. They battled on the track for a majority of it until he finally broke out to a pretty decent lead. But the top 2 were still on the same lap, which is awesome. Oh, sweet. Everybody's saying good. All right. Just checking. Cav was definitely impressive because not in the Nitro Pro Truggy, but I would say in the buggy for sure. I definitely think he stepped it up in buggy, winning his way in and still racing his way up into a top 5 finish. That was definitely epic. But Dakota kind of ran away with the Pro Truggy A main. You got Ryan Mayfield in the number 2, Spencer in the 3, Lutz in the 4. Awesome run for Lutz. Lutz hasn't been too hot lately with the WRC, but definitely put in a solid showing with that. Not sure what Truggy he was using. I heard it was an X-Ray, but unconfirmed of what Truggy Ryan Lutz was running. Very curious to see what that was as well. Ryan Cavalieri with rounding out the top 5. And now I got this before we get into the actual. Hoping I can bring this up and it shows good. All right, so this is the start. I don't know what the volume's like on the show. I'm thinking it's going pretty good. But this is the start of the Nitro Buggy A main. Race 37 of 41. I also have the results for this. But I was hoping John would call in because I want to talk about this 6-pack in the back here. Now, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse over top of the screen, but you got Dakota coming down the straight, into the double, into the back, where they're tripling that with the E-Buggy, into the nice double, coming back to the, I don't know, the bubble jump, into the single, and then this 6-pack in the back is just epic. The drop down single into the smash single, 180 into the big triple. To me, this was an awesome race. Just seeing the control that these guys have for a full 45 minutes and to still be all relatively close towards the end just goes to show how fast these top racers actually are. You see stretching it a little bit at the beginning, but it's not too bad. But I know John was getting me all excited today, talking about putting in the 6-pack, trying to change up O-Town for the 2022 season, trying to bring the hype in. Oh, man, I think we got a guest here. Let's see. There we go. We'll see if we can do
from
the side.
O-Town.
There we go. Hopefully
We're
people can
live at Otterville.
I'm going to turn down this volume. There. Now, I think that everybody can hear John, the Otter. Welcome to the show.
Check 1 2 1 2.
I think people can hear you. All right. I think we're good. I'm just going to mute the TV 100%. So basically what we have is we actually have the Nitro A main going on here, and I know me and you were talking about it, but that back section seems to be the most challenging, even for the top pros. You see him ducking and jumping off and all that stuff. The even that run up right there to that double coming out of that turn there is epic. Now, I'm hoping that you're seeing what I'm seeing without a delay.
Yeah,
Or do you have a delay? All right. So I know we were talking about the track and what you wanted to bring to Otterville next year. What's your thoughts on that 6-pack in the back?
I like it. It kind of reminds me of the 6-pack I had. I believe it was a 6-pack I had for the 2020 layout with the small crossover Daytona and all that. So you'd cross over, so you'd step over. Yeah, that was a 6-pack. So yeah, it really reminds me of that.
And to me, like having that steady, like where you have to like time everything and set yourself up and watch your speed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely makes it challenging. But overall, I thought the layout was pretty good. It didn't look like it was overly difficult. It looked like it had some passing areas, and even the pros were dicing it up. So it made it pretty exciting to watch. Anyways.
Yeah, like I agree with the just watching the races and whatnot, and watching the pack and whatnot. The flow looks really good. There's really no hiccups that I can see. It flows very well.
And especially going off of a 45-minute A main. And it's funny because in Europe, they always push for that 1 hour main. And I don't know if that's just a European thing or if it's a difference between Roar, Infomar, or all that. But what did you think of the new format that they tried out this weekend?
Well, I was working, so I wasn't able to watch everything and follow everything. So I kind of missed some of the beginning of the format, but I did manage to start watching it more so with the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So I can't really give a good opinion on it, but it looked like it was a pretty good format.
I like that you're racing all the time instead of just qualifying. Like once they got the qualifying out of the way, it was pretty epic because you were trying to race your way into the A main basically.
Now, how did they like I say, I missed the beginning part. Was there some seeding rounds, any actual qualifying rounds, or was it just they used the seeding and kind of seeded into the preliminary mains or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, so it was definitely crazy because they had the qualifying first, John, which was really weird. So they had 2 rounds of qualifying, and then after the 2 rounds of qualifying, they went into the seeding after qualifying. Now, the weird thing is with the qualifying, even though it was 5-minute qualifiers with a 2-minute warm-up, so technically 7 minutes, it only took your top 3 consecutive laps. Now, right. I know they're talking about going back and forth and not just doing your top 3 total. So that way, if you wanted to make a change, you could come in. Or if you had 2 blazing fast laps and a lapper got into you on the 3rd lap, it wouldn't mess up your whole overall. So I like the concept, but they're thinking of ways that they can already make it better. So what they did this time was it was the top 3 consecutive. Same as what we do for seeding. And it was funny because you actually had to look at the results to see how it went, because in live time, the software that they're running on Live RC, it showed it like they were just the 5-minute qualifier. So it was exactly the same. So that was kind of cool in a way, but if you're looking on the information on the screen, it wasn't accurate as to who was actually getting it. That's the only thing that I didn't like about the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely something to look into to try out or whatever if I get some more knowledge on how they set it all up and whatnot. But in regards to the layout itself, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of itching to see if I can implement this kind of layout at Otterville for 2022. I think it would fit in nicely. I'd have to make some definitely some major adjustments to it. But looking at the lanes, how they go left to right, and then forward and towards you, or way and towards you, I think it'll work. It fit nicely and around the trees and whatnot.
Yeah, it's funny because we're gonna pause it here for a second. So there, we're picking up Dakota, getting ready to come into the 6-pack. So right here, where these two guys are standing, that's where your tree would be. And you know what I mean? And this would be going into the back up section in the back. I can already visualize it. Like, it's insane.
You could almost you could almost picture a nice big kicker to get you up to the next level.
Right, because of the elevation.
Continue on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. But like, this camera angle is awesome, and it was so simple to set up, and I think it adds that excitement for the actual pit stops, because you see these guys jumping in, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, like a 4.5 second stop. Insane how fast these guys are in and out right now. There's Bornhorst. That's ridiculous how fast they were in and out. So you got Baker there talking to Fenn, saying, okay, how many more laps do you want to lead this race for, basically? You got Gord over there refilling the quick fuel gun. You got Mason Fuller's dad right here looking all TLR'd out. But I think that this camera is pretty cool and easy to implement when we go to a track now.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see you trying to get or improve the video footage at the Otterville races. Definitely trying to take it to next level. Again, it's something that I'm not into. I mean, I do the Facebook Lives and all that stuff. I'll set up the Facebook Live camera for the overall track itself, but to make it better as far as getting some live action on specific cars on the track, following cars around. I appreciate you trying to take that next level and show the racing more to the guys that can't make the trip out to Otterville.
Well, and that is just a piece of the puzzle, because I think that the action that is created in your environment, like your track environment, is next level. And I think that if we can just capture that and bring it to the masses, it will definitely help promote the hobby that we're into, because some of the battles are just epic. And I don't even mean for the win. I mean all the way throughout. Like, when you're trying to bump up from the C to the B main, the excitement level for those guys is next level, because every opportunity that you get to that next step, it doesn't matter what that next step is. It's your own personal battle, and you got to have the excitement with that too. And I can't wait to go through the pits again and bring some more live content and basically showcasing what people are doing to improve their stuff throughout the day, and it not be like a big secret or a big, like, oh man, like nobody knows what's going on. I think that if you have the courage and just go up to the people and ask, you'd be surprised at what they'll help you with.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, but did you actually get to see the full A main here?
I missed. Actually, I think I seen the start of it, but I didn't catch the end of it. There was stuff going on here at the household, so.
Nice. Yeah, but no, I do feel sorry for people that can't make it to Overtown too, Matt. That's for sure. What's up, Ryan? Yeah, so basically, I just wanted to show off some of the highlights to this event, but the biggest thing is like, just like seeing what you can pull off with this layout is going to be next level. I know that the winter is way too long here, and that seeing, like, look at how smooth that is. Like, that's just epic that he's going through that 6-pack with ease. It's insane how he just ripped this track apart. Even going through all those bumps there, coming onto the front straight, the braking bumps there, like, my buggy, I'd probably be up in the TNR Fuels banner.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Dakota was very, very smooth and consistent out there. Like I say, I watched the beginning, and yeah, he just started pulling the gap. The rest of the group, lap by lap, it just kept on increasing.
Oh yeah. Ryan says, "What's up, John?"
Hello, Ryan.
But the track itself, I know they were complaining about the holes and stuff like that. So the video must not have done it that much justice, because from the video, it looks like the track held together pretty good. You could definitely see the lines in some of the spots, like right there, coming around the bowl turn into that double there. And then coming up to this first roller jump here, you can definitely tell where the groove is. That off camber coming down in the first double of the six pack is insane, because the first double, you're kind of jumping to the inside to kind of go to the outside of the second double to clear the last double going into the step up, which is crazy.
I mean, that's where the great debate is right now with the trend in off road. Like I say, a lot of maybe the older guys, like even older than me, that have been into RC perhaps longer than I have. I mean, you know what? I can't even say that either. I mean, the trend seems to be shifting to, we want to drive on an off-road track that is consistent like on-road. So you're going to have the mix. You're going to have the guys that are going to complain that, oh man, there's potholes. And you're going to have the guys that grew up with off-road and say, hey, drive around, find a new line kind of deal, right? So
the best thing is you don't have to please everybody. So whatever is easier maintenance-wise, that's basically what I would want you to focus on, because then if the Otter's having fun, we're all having fun. And the second thing is there's multiple other tracks, and based off of your initial suggestions on dates for O-Town, it opens it up for other tracks to be able to have just as much fun in the 2022 season. And going to different tracks, that's where you get the off-road feel. You know what I mean? You got to go to a different track and set your car up to those conditions. Like if you went from O-Town to Dort, there's going to be a change there. If you go from O-Town to Spark, there's going to be a change there. If you go from Spark to the Barnyard, there's going to be a change there. And now that you got line 29 thrown in the mix, you know what I mean? Like each of these tracks are going to have their own unique characteristics, and that's what I'm mostly excited about, because you just can't have one basic setup and hope it works everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I mean, I have to date the track back to the race events back to like 2013, 14, 20, even 2015. That's when I was running dirt, started bringing in the clay mix. Sugar started getting thrown in there too at some point, but I think before the sugar started getting added into mix to cut down on the track maintenance. I mean, guys were loving the off-road feel, no question. I mean, there's so many guys that I see kind of scrolling through Facebook that I remember that used to come out to the track. Maybe life changes is what took them out of RC. I don't know, but or maybe the fact that real off-road kind of disappeared took them out of the picture. I don't really know, but I miss it too. I miss the off-road feel. I miss the roosters and the potholes and the divots. Talking about the stuff, it's like, look at the size of that crater in the track after the race event or whatever, right? Stuff like that. Now it's kind of all about. It seems to be down to grip level right now at Otterville. Is what's the grip level like? What's it going to be like this year? The track surface is pretty much the same. It's smooth. It's pretty consistent, but the grip level has been kind of up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah, and that is definitely because I think that the weather threw you a curveball multiple times. So that was hard to stay on top of. And being consistent when you were experimenting was extremely tough too. Because when you were working on all those secret sauces and stuff like that, like I was along with the ride and I loved every minute of it. because sometimes it was like an instant hit, and I was like, oh my god, I'm saving a second off my lap. Then you knew it was good. And then other times it's like, oh man, I can't even get through this section. We're gonna have to let it dry out or soak in or whatever the trick was. But I definitely admire your willingness to try new stuff, because that's huge, man. Because if you're not willing to try stuff, you're never gonna know.
Yeah, there's no doubt when I was trying the the track sauces and whatnot. The one in particular was the one that increased the track lap time, or decreased the track lap times by, I think about 3 seconds. Like, guys were like getting into like the 25s.
Right.
And then, and it would last, depending on how much I put down, it would last about 6 hours. Then all of a sudden it would just drop right off. And it was like, wow, we just lost like 3-4 seconds.
Which was insane. Yeah. Cause I know once I thought it was because the sun went behind the trees, and that's kind of what I thought it was from. And as soon as that temperature change came to the track, you were right. It was kind of like, oh wow, like you're no longer able to drive it in as deep and still hold that line. So you did have to back it off and figure it out. But the thing is, though, everybody has to race the conditions that they're in. And I think that's why when you switched it to the rocket round for qualifying, it definitely upped the ante for fun. Because then everybody had an equal opportunity, and it didn't matter when you were out on the track.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a nice change there.
Oh, man, there's so many ways to have fun on a given day. But I definitely love the format where you run it with the 4 bumps. Having 4 bump ups, I know it makes probably for a longer day for some, but man, I feel like I have a chance. Like I could be in the F main, and I'm like, I'm gonna A main it. By God, I still feel like I got a shot. And it doesn't matter where you're at, because if you're getting 4 bumps, man, the excitement is there for everybody, and you can tell in the pits too, because everybody's thinking it.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially in the lower mains. I mean, I think the lower main guys were having an absolute blast. The excitement, the shaking, and just the aftermath. Like everybody coming off the stands. Like, I mean, I'm always watching. Guys don't know that, but I'm always watching what's going on and just seeing the smiles of excitement. Yeah, sure, there's going to be some disappointments from a loss, losing out on the bump position or whatever, but. Or even holding on to the race or the lead for the whole race, and then you lose it at the end or whatever, right? But just the overall enjoyment that I see that everybody gets out of it, that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me pushing to continue to do better, for sure.
Well, you get to see the highs and the lows. That's the best part. You know what I mean? Because you get to see the victory, like the chants and the cheering and everybody going nuts, and then you see the one guy that was just like utterly crushed because he held it for so long and lost it on the last lap. Like the emotions are insane.
Yeah.
And it's both ways, right?
Yeah, that definitely happened to me a few times, for sure, especially in e-truggy.
You definitely had some fun battles in e-truggy. But like even without the battles, like just the fun and the environment that you helped create.
Yeah, like I say, it's like I wasn't even disappointed that I lost first place. I wasn't even disappointed. I was so stoked, so excited just to battle it out for like 5 minutes, I think it was. I worked so hard to get back into the race after falling all the way to dead last and battle it out with Johnny or Danny. That was that was an absolute blast.
And it was one that he won't forget for a long time too, because it was an epic wheel-to-wheel battle. You guys were using up all the straightaways, beating and banging on the jumps, and you would jump past him, he'd sneak inside. Like the back and forth is what made it epic. And Brandon going bonkers on the mic was even better, because it was all eyes on the battle. Like everybody was like, who's this new kid hanging with the otter? And it was back and forth. That's what made it exciting.
Yeah, it was more like, man, the otter's having a hard time hanging with the new kid. Definitely tested out my skills.
Yeah, it was fun to watch though, for sure. But that's what I mean. Like the whole, like environment is created from the actions on the track. And having a super racy environment just makes those stories so much more epic, right? Like it's just one of those things that we're blessed with, that you put in the work and give us the means to be able to have those awesome stories and the memories coming up on my walls and all that stuff. And I know you shared the video from, I think it was 2017, where you had the step up, step off dragon back. Like those were like just awesome memories. And everybody gets like a little tingly when they see the full send stuff coming on the O Town page.
Yeah, and it's like I mean, it kind of sucks that I feel like I'm limited to the layouts I can put in the space that I have. So I mean, I'm trying to change it up and do some really drastic different layouts, just like 2021 or this year. This year's layouts were completely different than what I would normally do. Yeah, it was lacking big air jumps for sure. But the nice thing about it is we have 2022 to look forward to, and we'll definitely see some big air jumps returning.
You know, I'm a fan of the big air stuff for sure. I like to go full send, but in the 2022, would it be a far cry to just have like one killer layout put in at the beginning and maybe just one track change, or is that like trying to talk the otter out of doing what he enjoys the most?
It probably wouldn't hurt my feelings if I try to get back into that groove. I mean, life's been getting in the way, I guess, is a big thing. I mean, COVID has definitely not helped. The whole COVID ordeal has definitely not helped with anybody for that matter, including myself. I mean, trying to make things work, everything's been kind of out of whack. My route, what I used to do with the track, it's like, boom, like the Otter Cup series, for example. I was always like making a slight tweak almost for every race that was coming. So everybody always had something to look forward to, a new feature, a new change. Oh, this is awesome. Kind of keeps the playing field somewhat level so that nobody or anybody who is coming out regularly isn't getting the edge kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely looking at trying to do something. I don't know. I won't know until next year rolls around, because I don't know what's going to happen between now and next year. So, but hopefully I can get a game plan together and get some events attached to my dates, because I'm still mulling that over, what I'm going to do. So yeah, it's just a lot of family stuff. I don't want to call it family interference, but just there's a lot of family stuff going on that is interfering with Otterville. So Otterville racing. So I got to figure out how to best attack that. So I've got time to keep the track in great condition and have some fun layouts for each race and blah blah blah. You know the rest of the story. Good times, good times.
Right. And honestly, I think that everybody would be in agreement if you just had like an epic layout at the beginning of the season and just had to maintain it and maybe just did one change at the end of the season, you know what I mean? Just to spice it up, like say the Nitro Blast or whatever, a big race that you want to have at the end. But like the thing is, with what your concern was with people coming and feeling that they would be at a disadvantage from regular people that go, I kind of get that feeling too, but at the same time, it's kind of like home track advantage. You know what I mean? Like when we went to Bago only changed their track once throughout the whole season. So if you were at that track and you were able to practice, that's just home track advantage. And I feel that it's the same at Dork, it's the same at the Barnyard, it's the same at Spark. I don't know what line 29 is like because I still have to go there, Corey. But I think that being able to practice on a same track or similar track is beneficial as well, because when you make setup changes and you go home and you think about the issues that you had and you actually have time to get it all in, you're like, oh man, I wonder if this change would actually be better or worse. You can actually try it the next time you go out and it's not a completely different track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I personally, I personally don't have an issue with home track advantage or disadvantage, whatever. I mean, I generally suck at my home track anyway. I always do better away. So I don't have home track advantage. I have away from home track advantage. When I go elsewhere,
Yeah.
that's when I feel like I can lay it down and focus and show off my skills. If I've got it, I'll definitely show it off.
Well, that just brings us back to the whole Quebec Classic one there, man. When you were in the A main doing those triples, that was
Yeah.
like that's bringing the fun. And like me, the Reimer brothers, everybody that were in the pits, they're cheering you on. Dude, I'll never forget that night because you definitely were full send that night. And it was so much fun to watch because you were basically getting the whole crowd in that double section there lit. Like everybody was just basically waiting for you to go back through that section. They weren't even watching the lead pack anymore. They were watching
Yeah, I
the
know.
otter go
That
through
was
and do his
exciting
stuff.
for me because, yeah, I honestly, I wasn't into the race itself. It's like, you know what? I just want to just have some fun. I kind of lost the racing feeling towards the end, and I just wanted to have fun. And just hearing everybody get all excited with me doing the jumps, that was more than satisfying for me. So that was the best part of the whole weekend there.
Oh, it's definitely definitely cool. So Matt's saying I'll jump on the deer and come up with something. Oh boy, we'll see. Yeah, no, me too, Steve. Like the big thing is like you can see John's passion coming through when he actually, jumps on the deer. Some of the times I've seen him on the deer and I'm like, oh shit, man, did I talk him into something we shouldn't have? And the track's a mess. There's pice all over the place. I'm like, oh my god. And we're racing this weekend. John's just do. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit, there's his vision. I'm like, man, I thought we were in over our head, and somehow he still pulls off a Hail Mary, and we were able to race that weekend. But I've definitely seen some
Yeah.
fantastic stuff coming out of that guy.
Yeah, like I say, the time that you got to see with me making some changes and whatnot, you definitely got to see the amount of time I put into building a complete layout. Like that was just a page of the layout compared to the book of building the whole layouts kind of deal.
Yeah, no, and like the things that go through a track builder's head, like that's why when I was watching this AMS, I'm already thinking like, holy shit, like there's where the trees would be. There's where that could, like, I'm like, oh my God, like this layout looks like it could potentially fit there. Like it's not
Yeah,
a
like
far
if
drive.
you go back before the six pack, you can go backwards.
Yeah, here, watch. I'll pause it as soon as it comes up. So this
Or
is the
I'll tell you when
double.
to pause it.
Okay.
All right, pause it right. All right, keep going. Right there. Yeah, so see that
Okay.
TLR sign on the wall?
This one? Yep.
Yeah, the TLR banner on the wall there. That's about where the TLR banner is on my track at home. If you can remember where it's sitting by the two little trees.
Yep.
So you can kind of picture how my layout would fit.
It's insane. Yeah, because like this right here could be the Marshall area, just like it is right now.
Yeah.
And then this would be going up right against the fence. And then if we go a little bit further, this right here would be where the second tree would be. The big tree where you have the stick guy on it.
Yeah.
And then this section right here coming into this six pack, like see how they're jumping almost over the pipe to downside that there? That's awesome. And then this second double, so they're jumping to the left. Like this guy's jumping to the left. Look at his wheels. His wheels are turned to get his buggy level in that direction because then when they pop up, they're jumping to the right. So the amount of engineering that's going through this section is just insane. And then the other double up. But like this double right here is where you're stepping up at the end of your road, right? So this would be at the very far top right. And then you would be able to go around because you would have the tree right here as well. And then you'd have the tree right here as well. So like you got the one tree, the other tree, and then the like, I don't know, John, like this looks like it could be a potential layout.
Oh yeah, it would easily fit. Like I say, it's not like like I don't have my lanes already running that way.
It's pretty close.
In those directions, it's just I have trees to deal with, so everything's going to have to get tweaked just to make things fit a little bit. Like even along the double there before the 180 sweeper, I have to deal with the fact that it's kind of a short double because of the fence. I can't really put too much dirt against it, so I'll have to kind of change things up a little bit there instead of having it go towards where the tabletop is sitting in the left corner.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'll jog it a little bit to go right out to the road entrance. You remember that where that gate entrance is there. So after you hit the big double, slight jog, 180 at the roadside, come back the other way, and I can make it fit, no problem. I'll make it even better, but it's always nice to get ideas from watching other layouts. And I think it's going to be epic. And maybe if I do it right, I can run the layout backwards just to change it up.
And that is where the magic lies, because if you can actually run it in reverse, we're finding that out like real time with the VRC, right? Running the track in reverse. Sometimes it works and sometimes it does not work.
Yeah, I mean, even on VRC, running this particular track, I can't remember what it's called, but off the top of my head. But yeah, running it backwards when we first started, it was like, oh my gosh, the flow sucks. But actually, after spending some time with it, you don't hit the features like you would normally do it, but the flow is still good. You just do it differently.
You got to definitely put some thought into it. And I would definitely recommend everybody practice. Because that's coming up next weekend.
Yeah, because I mean, VRC, I mean, whether you like to race on it or not is totally up to you, but just to practice driving your car on it, practice whipping your car, because all that knowledge that you pick up once you figure out how to whip your car and make it land flat instead of landing upside down, or it rolls over too far and you end up into a crash. If you can learn to correct your car in the air before you come down, you can transfer all that knowledge when you get to go outside and play. And it's amazing because that's how I learned to whip, was from VRC. No question about it, because my racing has improved immensely with the VRC.
The big question is, how do we set up an indoor event like that in Ontario? Just one big in the winter? Oh, Matt, the thing is, it's funny because I was talking about that earlier today, and Chewy was the one that would set up the Tilsonburg race in the past. And if we had another Chewy that would be willing to take on the promotional side of it, setting it all up, the track build and all that other stuff is definitely a huge undertaking, and it is a big responsibility. And you definitely need to put the feelers out and make sure that the RC group would actually support that, because without the support from everybody, it would not fly. You need to have a certain entry in order to make that a successful endeavor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I mean, Quebec Classic is a prime example. The Bago crew, I mean, they've got the equipment, they bring the equipment in, and they give her. They give her for, when did they start building the track for the Quebec Classic? Was it like a week prior?
Yeah.
Or was it more? I don't know. But that's the problem. If you're limited to space, say you have to rent a building out, and okay, I have to pay this much and I only have it for a week. So if the event is going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I get use of it to start building the track on, say, probably Monday or Sunday or Monday, I'm not sure, probably Monday.
Yeah.
So now you have 3 days. Now you're under pressure. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is all you've got. So you have to have everything lined up, ready to rock and roll. You have to have a crew that is ready to give her at your beck and call and orders, whatever, and know what they're doing. So it's a huge undertaking. That's what I learned when I was able to help Chewy with one of the track builds. And again, it wasn't I think I came into the track build probably, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday. So most of the track had already been built, and they're starting to pack and things down and starting to lay tubing. So that's kind of when I came into it. But yeah, it is a lot of work, which is what I don't like. I don't like that huge undertaking, rush, get her done 3 days. For me, building a layout, I like to enjoy the build so that I can hopefully do it right in whatever time it takes. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it is a crazy amount, but I know RC Kevin. He said it took him 2.5 weeks to build the Quebec Classic.
Yeah, and like I say, and it shows. It shows that they had the time to do it. They had the manpower. They had the heavy equipment. Like they got their stuff together at the Bago track. So no, that's awesome. For me, all I have to work with is my deer. Just me and the deer, and we give her. I mean, I'm grateful for any help that I do get, whether it's from you or Mike Boers or whoever, for, you know, if it's pulling up tube spikes or maybe helping at the end, laying down tube and nailing things. But yeah, as far as the overall build, yeah, it's just me and the deer, and it's fun. But yeah, it's like, man, if I had some really big equipment, yeah, I could really really make some big changes. Yeah, go to town is right. O-town.
Yeah. O-town. I got that one for sure. But yeah, so basically I just wanted to jump on here and just kind of talk about like the whole layout and stuff like that, and just get the hype going. I'm not sure what the next big event is going to be, but I know that Kevin was talking about the Quebec indoor Nats. So I'm definitely going to have to check that out, because I know that that's usually in February, I believe that is for the Quebec indoor event. Or is it even
I want to say it's April.
Is it later? Yeah, February.
Yeah, April.
Okay. Because that would be...
I believe it's like beginning of April. Yeah, I'm going to say it's either the beginning or middle of April, I believe, is when it was. But you know, the other big race that's a must attend if you can go to it is the Big Barn Shootout in Chilliwack. That is amazing.
So he's saying it's sometime in May. So yeah, so that's like right at the beginning of the season then.
Oh right, yeah, maybe it was the beginning of May for
he said right after
the indoor.
Yeah, that would be awesome to attend that, especially with what I got in the works coming up shortly. Hopefully next week we'll have some more cool stuff for the site and all, and be able to share it all with you. But basically here we got about 7 minutes left in this race, and really Dakota is out by himself. There he is right there, coming around to the big triple. Still full send, coming around through all those braking bumps and all that. Like, he's just still full send. On lap 83, he ran his fastest lap, which was a 26.8 or something like that, which is insanely fast. His average is a 27.7. Like, the kid's just on kill. But
it's just not cool that we're not there, so I have to build that later. I was just saying, it's just not cool that we weren't there to race these with these fast guys. So I just think I just need to bring that layout to Ontario, and let's race on it. How's that sound?
Yeah. Oh, it looks like it's so much fun, and you're right. The flow is epic.
Yeah, it looks like it works really good. Yeah, I mean, my biggest decision I got to make for next year's racing is whether I just host like 3 or 4 race events, and that's it for next year. I haven't decided whether I can actually run the Otter Cup Series next year. That's my biggest problem. So I have to decide that.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of time to figure out all that. And I know that with the dates posted, it just gives everybody else the opportunity to throw in what events they want to do. And I can't wait to set up all the stops that we're going to be doing in 2022. I know I'm looking forward to it. I get to try out a new chassis for me, so I know I'm stoked about that, and am extremely excited to get my hands on those bad boys and just let the fun begin with the kit builds and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your videos are going to get pretty what's the right word? A lot of videos will be coming out from Ross Racing.
Oh man, the build videos are going to be
extra ones.
Yeah, and it's going to be like weird hours for sure. Be when I get home from work, and instead of just doing nothing, I'm going to come in here and work on here. I actually have the camera set up. We almost have the Tekin one completely done, which is awesome because I don't know if you guys seen the results. Tyler Hooks won the e-buggy or e-truggy class with all Tekin gear in it, so it was super cool to see Tyler Hooks doing that. Oh, look at, you see Dakota with that mess up there? Look at that, single, and then he doubles out. I think that was like one of the first mess ups I've seen him do in the buggy. But yeah, huge shout out to Tyler Hooks. Great job there. Other than that, I just want to basically thank everybody in these last 4 minutes before we end the show for all the support with the website. Like I said, check out the website, www.sworkscanada.ca. We have the coupon codes in the description. I'll actually post that on my Facebook page. So for the bodies, the discount code is new site 10, all one word, all lowercase. And for the Cow RC stuff, the discount code is 1976. So like I said, I do appreciate all the support, all the people that have gave me wonderful suggestions. And after midnight tonight, it's the cutoff for the LFR giveaway, which is a custom paint scheme from none other than Bodies by Brandon. So stay tuned for that. I'll be announcing that next weekend for sure when we do our live, and hopefully have a whole bunch of other cool stuff to show you. Like, did you see that line through there? Oh my gosh. You guys are killing it. It's definitely cool to see that even after the track's been beat up for 45 minutes, they're still running 27-second laps.
Yeah, I'd say the grip level is pretty good on the race line.
Especially on the race line. But see all the dust flying as soon as he got off the line there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's like marbles.
Yeah.
That's why they're driving very smart.
Definitely have to stay in the groove. But yeah, this.
I mean, like I say, stuff like that when you like when you watch what they're doing on the track. I mean, and then I look at VRC practice. It's like the same thing. You're really trying to dial in your driving abilities to stay on that race line, stay exactly where you want to be.
Couldn't agree more. Because the more consistent you get, it will make you faster, either VRC or in real life. If you can continuously hit your marks and put your buggy where you want it, that's where you're going to get incrementally better.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like I say, for me, VRC is just a tool for practice for me to focus on consistency, trying to hit the same marks every time. Then I know I'm going to turn that lap time before I even cross the loop. It's like, oh yeah, it's going to be a 28 or 29. That's why it's funny when I'm like watching guys on my own track practice, and I see them hitting all those marks, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be a 28. It's going to be a 28, and they're like, yeah, how'd you know that? And like, you just get to know. It's like, okay, yeah, you got that right. You got that right. Oh, you went a little bit wide there. You're going to lose a couple of tenths, whatever. And then, yeah, it all adds up.
It surely does. And once you get used to seeing the fast guys and where they're putting the buggy, you can kind of see where the racing line develops. And when people are in that frame of mind and they are hitting those marks, like you said, you can guess where they're going to end up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, beating and banging the leader. Look at that. Taking out the leader. They're like, you already lapped us 4 times. Come on, guy.
How many laps was he up on the field? Was he up a lot or no?
1 lap on everybody.
Wow.
So, yeah, he ran. Let's see if it switches before. Oh, it didn't show. I do have the results. There's 11 seconds left. I don't know if I can turn the volume up on this without getting feedback. We'll give it a little experiment.
Yeah, he's got to be running a what do you call it? A special car. What's the term you use?
A prototype.
A test car? Prototype, yes, thank you.
There he goes.
Yeah, because usually, you always see, I would say 9 times out of 10, generally you would see Ryan Mayfield just pull away from everybody.
Yeah,
kind of deal, right? Yeah, but now you're seeing Dakota Fenn do this, and you just kind of wonder whether A, he's really hot right now, or A, he's really hot and he's got a hot prototype car going on too.
Well, it's funny because the look at there's Dave Lycombe right there. Oh man, that guy cracks me up. But the thing is with Dakota, even if he only has a few experimental parts, he has the best tires in my opinion right now on the track. Because if you look at all the top 5 in the majority of the races, it was almost all J Concepts.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about J Concepts.
Me too. And
what's
I know
Dakota runs?
Yeah, Dakota and Mayfield both run the J Concepts. That's why I was curious to see what they were running. I know Kevin said that they were running the Aqua Ellipsis and one other tire. But if you watch when Dakota puts his stuff there, you'll see how bald his tires are. So there's Mayfield.
I wonder why I'm not running my J Concepts tires.
Oh, because you're too fast. You don't need the extra confidence.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's keeping me from getting close to Douglas. I don't know.
There's Cavallari. Oh, there's Cav's car. There's Tebow's. What fuel's Tebow running now? Maximus? Uh-oh, nobody knows what he's running. There's Dakota right there. He's still running the old school Losi fuel, I think.
All right, well, I should let you go. I gotta get ready for bed.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming on. We're just going to finish this off, and thanks for everybody for joining us. But basically, this is your A-Main final anyway. You got Dakota up in there, man. Tyler killing it. Obviously, Mayfield, he did really good too. Techno Tebow in there, and Cavalieri coming up in second. But you basically have 2 Technos, 2 TLRs, and a Mugen. No partridge in a pear tree there.
Nice.
But all right, man. Thanks for joining us, and I will catch you later. All right. Like I said, I just want to thank everybody for joining in. I will definitely put a link to the website in the description, all that good stuff. But don't forget, it's sworkscanada.ca. You got the promo codes. The one expires tonight. So if you do want to get in on the body deal and have your shot at winning a free paint scheme from Bodies by Brandon, please check that out. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.